What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. Apologies for being late. I did just get home, but let's welcome in our co-host James from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel.
Hello, everybody. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. This is my girl's channel, and she does great content, and I join her on most of it. So make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button, tell a friend. Make sure we get that subscriber count up.
Yes, and please subscribe to James as well. We do things on each channel. The link to his channel is in the description of this video. We are a couple days late. It's been a very busy week for both of us, but we are here to go over Basketball Wives. The episode was Win, Lose, or Brawl, Season 12, Episode 2. Again, Shawnee, why are you in this damn picture? Why do you, like, show us you're a narcissist and your ego's gotten to you without showing us? Because then you have the nerve to be in this picture.
I'm going to start talking about Shawnee the way you do, as much as we don't see her, but she in the middle dead set as if she is Madame Noir. Like, I'm like, man.
You don't see Mariah Huck in the picture with Married to Medicine no more.
You sure don't.
And she's a producer as well. As her idea. So I don't understand this, Shawnee, but okay, keep your check. But this was the second episode of this. Look, Shani said dead center too. Like right in the center. And she has brought in a lick of nothing. And she will probably bring a whole bunch of nothing.
I feel like she trying to practice because I feel like she's going to get a show called Pastor's Wives.
You said what?
Huh?
You funny. You funny.
I feel like this is a segue to get Pastor Wives, and I'm sure watching that one.
Well, I mean, her husband by himself is an issue, so we shall see. But we start this episode with Brandy and Evelyn meeting for lunch, which was weird. It was just weird because we know that Evelyn's favorite thing to do is come at Brandy's marriage, which I don't like. I don't think you should come at her for what her husband did. The two are separate, but I guess the two want to meet and they're now cool. And this is where Evelyn claims that she feels bad for Jennifer because she doesn't believe that Jen has her own voice or mind in her current relationship with the boy. The boy is Christian, for those who are new to the channel. That's all that really happened. We got a bunch of it seemed like this episode was a bunch of people meeting to eat and saying little things. And then we get whatever happens at the end. But it looked like none of these ladies really mess with Ev too much. So Ev's just going to go wherever. I don't really care for this drama between the two. Because though I do think that Jennifer's husband is shady, she's married to him. So if, you don't speak on people's husbands and things like that. And if you were really concerned, be concerned off camera. So that's how I feel. Do you have anything to add to Brandy and Evelyn's meet?
I feel like we're leaving a huge part out of this.
Such as, please explain.
Is this the scene where they met up with Ty?
That's coming next. But
okay. I was going to say, I don't remember them first initially meeting outside of that conversation. That's why I asked that question. I was like, wait, okay, go ahead, continue.
Nothing much happened even with Ty. She comes.
Oh, no, I want to talk to Brandy about. So go ahead and get through it.
So Ty comes into it. I don't get it. I don't like Ty. This is a whole different energy than we got from her when she was with Mimi on Love and Hip Hop. Now she seems like if she was a boy, we'd be calling her a player or something. She kind of gave that off energy. But I only really want Ty personally, James, to speak on her situation with Drew Sidora or how things ended with Mimi and how nasty that got. Because Ty has been caught into a bunch of love triangles, hot messes, things of that nature. But they do move on to discuss Ming, who is also a cast member on the show, who I guess was dating Ty for a certain amount of time, 9 months. All they do is kind of describe the relationship is complicated, which irritates me. But they move on. And for some reason, Brandy is crying to Evelyn, who laughed at her marriage last season, and to Ty, who she is just now fucking meeting, about her marriage. And I'm like, girl, you late. We cried for your marriage some time ago. You chose to stay with him and called us all some clowns for telling you shouldn't have stayed with him, because she did attack the audience at one point. Now your whole thing on this show has been you getting mad at people whenever they bring up what Jason did to you when they're mad, having beefs with Brandy, which I can understand why that would bother her because the two things are separate. But why is this girl crying to people she just met? And Evelyn. Am I the only one that felt like that was weird? I didn't like it.
No. No. You're not the one that felt like that was weird. I thought it was absolutely strange. But here's my thing.
Yes, please tell me.
Please, here's my thing. Brandy, I want you to stop lying on national TV and saying that it was that your husband cheated on you with over 50 people. I told y'all he went on Iyanla and said that he slept with over 300 women. And I said that about 150 of those is on Brandy's count. So for her to just say 50, that's a cute way to downplay it, ma'am.
When that man said 300, we have to know for as long as they've claimed to be together, he had to have slept with at least over 100 of them women while with her because they've been together. With her.
Yes.
I don't understand it. Let me get the comments real fast. The Ty and Drew situation is coming out on 2 different shows on 2 different networks. I thought that, but I do feel like
if they're not going to go into detail, who cares?
They're not. But I will say that we're going to know more from this show than the other show because Drew lied more than. That's why her and Portia was friends. That's what I'll say. Hi, Shayna.
Drew do be lying, but I feel like here's my thing. I don't care unless I'm gonna see some video footage or something. I don't care.
Fair. That's fair. That is fair. Welcome in, Miss Shayna. I do hope that everybody likes the video. Damn, he definitely cheated on her with like 1,000 people at this point. I think he's still cheating.
He ain't even all that cute.
James, I wrote that in my notes. And
I'm just like, how dare you? Like, for real. And then when we listen to him talk, which you'll get there eventually, I'm just like, Randy, come on. I know you lying. I know you playing with me right now. I know you playing with me. Because I didn't realize he had an issue with speech. So I'm like, oh, okay. See, now you really playing. Y'all ladies really got to up y'all standards. And y'all really got to up y'all. I'm telling y'all, for ladies who do with y'all, sleeping with men like Jason Maxio, y'all need to up y'all antics a little bit. Because I'm telling you, that was not worth it, I'm sure.
We're going to get into that. We are definitely going to get into that. He said he cheated with her or cheated on her with 300 from what I remember. So all 300 plus was while he was with her. And he's retired, so it can't be for the money. I know there's a shortage of men, but damn.
Okay, so no, he never said that all 300, because I recently just watched it not that long ago. All 300 women were not on Brandy's count. That's how many women total he has slept with since he has been having sex. So he has the audacity to actually count the women that he's had sex with, which is crazy to me. But any number over 100 and you in your mid-40s is crazy. That's absolutely insane. So the fact that that is now triple that number, it's like, oh, yeah.
My thing is, couldn't you have told the girl in private? Why would you, like, I understand the point of going on Iyanla is to get your life fixed, but clearly not shit was fixed. You could have told that girl in person, like in private, and saved her the embarrassment. It's almost like
go ahead and embarrass her because she was confident that it wasn't more than 10. She was confident. Like, you got to go back and watch that shit. She was confident that it was no more than 10 and that she's still pissed at him, but she knows that that's all that there is. So when he told her, he actually said a number, which I don't believe the number. But it was kind of like, oh, you really played yourself on national TV because it was just her. It was her confident level. Like, she just knew. And it was like, man.
I personally feel like more than once, let it go. And even with one-time cheating, depending on how somebody does it, that's not even a thing. But I also have less tolerance for that type of stuff. I got friends that be forgiving people time and time again for cheating, but 300?
No, that's too much.
Oh, that's
especially
too much.
If you ain't not that cute and got a speech impediment, no, you can't cheat on me not one time.
Shani's on timeout. Oh, Jesus. She's using the embarrassment for a tired and ran through storyline. I agree with that. I think that if she wants to, it's almost like she doesn't know how to show anything else. I think she wants to show her businesses more, which we'll get into in a second, but she keeps leaning into this bullshit with the cheating, and we're tired of hearing about it. We don't care. You should have left him 10 seasons ago, but here you are, Brandy. Y'all, we then see that Jackie invited Ming and Jen to go walking at some trail in LA. And I was cracking up because Jackie said, Jen's running late. She's running late. I said, Jen ain't gonna show up. She don't want to deal with Jackie when just a couple seasons ago, Jen was asking Jackie if she looked like a deluxe type of bitch. So I'm like, Jen ain't messing with these women. She made it very clear to tell us one episode in that nobody showed up at her wedding. She made that very clear. And it sounded like the only one that had a valid excuse not to show up was Evelyn. And her name is slipping me right now. My brain is not working. But they go walking. Jen don't show up. She decided to leave Ming, though. So if Ming did show up, Jackie, and you just walking off and looking around and on trails and shit, how the hell was she supposed to find you? See, I can't with Jackie. I just cannot. But Jackie ends up opening up about her daughter Santel, who was on the show, who, by the way, I'm not liking so far. I'll explain why in a moment. And she speaks about the fact that Chantel is married to someone in the NBA, and she did not invite not just Jackie, but she didn't invite her dad either to her wedding. It sounds like she eloped, which I thought was interesting. We get to learn a little bit about Ming as well and her journey to motherhood. But then we get to the nitty gritty. And they FaceTime with Jen. And for some reason, Christian, the boy, is sitting right next to Jen, looking like he needed some chapstick or was healing from a chapped lip. I didn't understand why his lip was so red. But they talk about the issues, and Jen was pissed. I don't blame Jen for being pissed, but she made a comment about Evelyn's daughter being married to a felon. So why attack Jen with the felon? And even, yes, Ev's daughter is dating and has a baby with the felon and some community dick, but that doesn't, in my opinion, compare to the type of felon that Christian is. Like,
I was just about to say that. I felt like, what kind of narrative?
He hasn't had a felony in some time. He does.
Well, even still, it wasn't that kind of felony that your husband had, which was, from what we understand, what was it again?
It was holding somebody, basically
against their will, yeah.
And harassment. But the game, now that we do know today, they did just seize his house for an alleged sexual assault case that he lost. So he's no angel either, but I just feel like comparing, like, and I'm married, y'all. I wouldn't compare the sanctity of my marriage to like the feeling or bond that a parent has for a child.
Well, not only that, it would be different if you were talking about Evelyn specifically versus talking about her daughter. That's totally two different things. I feel like Jennifer is wrong for bringing up her daughter, because you could talk about Evelyn. Evelyn don't date the, actual princess of America either. Like, she dates pretty much assholes as well. So I don't understand why you just couldn't throw out one of Evelyn's. Like, hell, Evelyn was with Chad Ochocinco. You could throw that out there, even though he ain't no felon. But still, it's like he ain't no better.
Honestly, none of the dudes Evelyn have dated have been all of that, except for the last one that she was engaged to in the NBA. Since then, none of them have been all of that. They may have money, but that's about it.
No, she fumbled Carl Crawford. I don't care if nobody tells me. She fumbled Carl Crawford.
Well, maybe he fumbled it himself. I don't like her, but he was cheating. He was cheating.
Hell, they all cheat. She know the game. She used to be a hoe. She know.
Oh, Lord, not used to be a hoe. I can't stand you. Let me get through the comments. I don't want to hear about seasonings either. You know what? Black people who could cook think that that's going to make me trust their seasoning. But they buy the same seasonings that we be buying too. They use the same herbs, if they cook with herbs, that we be using too. So all her seasoning is going to be is some off variation of them same herbs that we already use, except they probably going to be too expensive.
Yeah, I feel like that is such a cop-out. Because y'all know y'all don't be using your own shit. So I don't know why y'all be over here trying to sell us some things when Black people trust the three common seasonings: seasoned salt, garlic, and some pepper. We don't go outside of the realms that often. So Brandy, go somewhere with that because you know damn well that ain't the idea that you should have had. You should have had some damn plates, some cups, some silverware. I'd rather you do that than to come out with some damn seasoning. Come on now.
Brandy's crazy at times. Good afternoon, Miss Quay. Welcome in, welcome in. Good evening if you are on the East Coast. What in the heck was Jen and her husband wear? You know, they don't know. Jen and Christian, like Jen is old money, but she kind of operates and moves like new money, and I feel like it's because of him. The call is so cringeworthy. I didn't like it. I don't like Evelyn, but Shanice has nothing to do with this.
Mm-hmm. Someone told me they feel like Jennifer gets her wealth like sporadically. Like she may be worth a lot of money, but she ain't got it all at one time yet. So like she probably gonna get, she's about 50 now, so she probably got about 45% of it and probably get the rest when she retires at 65. Because she do move like new money. She do.
Mm-hmm. It's like you could tell whatever money her family had, she's probably getting that in increments, which is common.
She ain't getting that all at one time.
Mm-hmm. And so she spends everything else on.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Sounded like she fumbled all of them. Evelyn can't keep a man to save her life. McCormick is on sale for $1. I'm good. Right.
I'm trying to tell you.
Garlic,
there you
onion
go, Quay the Canary Diamond. I know that's right.
She said the basis.
Mm-hmm.
The basis. I'm bougie. I'll be switching it up.
Shayna, you feel like Shanice was fair game?
That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't feel like she was fair game at all. I feel like she was collateral damage. I feel like it was a way to get under Evelyn's skin, and she did it now for the second time. I don't think
the thing is, the fact that Jen did have a relationship with Shanice for so long is the part about it that bothers me. However,
you know as a little girl, so it's like, how can you? Okay,
but if she didn't know her as a little girl, I do think it's fair game. People who have kids feel like they can attack people sometimes who don't have kids in a certain way, but then they are supposed to make their kids off limits. I think a lot of people forget that their kids are important to them and no one else. It sounds a little harsh. We can do right by kids. We can agree to not talk about kids and things of that nature. But Evelyn do love to throw that into Jen's face in past seasons. So it's kind of like, But that's a good point. Let me find out. She got to trust only a little bit a month. She probably does. That's how it works.
I feel because it says online, it's been saying this since she started Basketball Wives, like back in 2009, she's worth $25 million. It's never changed. So I kind of feel like she must get her settlement money in increments, like every year, or maybe every 5 years or something like that. One of my friends.
Granted, she's probably a little bit a month is probably a lot, and it's probably still 6 figures, but I feel like she uses other stuff like this show to fund smaller things. Shayna said, yeah, I do. Evelyn was talking about Jen's husband, so her grown daughter is fair game. She don't talk about Shanice. She just mentioned her baby daddy. That is actually also a good point, and part of why I was a little torn on the issue, because she didn't say, oh, your daughter's a build-a-whore like Jackie alleged. All she said was she had a baby with a felon. She didn't say she had a baby with a felon who she used to play with the kids at play dates and stuff, because we know Evelyn is great friends with the Gabe's baby Baba. But you know, I can see your point. Jen is just trying to get her eyes off her own mess. She's making it worse.
We'll get to that thing out because my mind has changed a little bit.
We will see.
Yeah, my mind has changed a little bit. Yeah.
Well, I'm interested to see how your mind has changed. I feel like this episode this season will make a lot of people go back and forth with how they feel. And we'll probably won't know how we really feel to the reunion. But I'm glad Brooke gone. My teeth haven't itched yet.
Girl,
she is not missed.
Her in that blimp booty again, I promise you I was going to scream.
Ooh, just terrible. And take her bad relationship choices with her. Now, Chantel invites Jackie to a photo shoot for her son. I believe the little boy's name is Noah. He's very cute.
Yes.
And I'm annoyed with Chantel. You come on your mama's platform and all you talk about is how strained your relationship with your mom is. You seem to be okay with other women speaking negatively about your mom. Where is the family loyalty? She hasn't said really one positive thing about Jackie. And it irks me. And clearly she feels a way about Doug as well. It just seems like she's quieter about speaking that way because he also equally ain't invited to stuff. But she claims her mama is a control freak. We already knew. And she says that she has to have serious boundaries with her mom, which I'd like to take a pause. If you want serious boundaries with your mom, going on a fucking television show with her where she becomes your colleague and coworker that you are formed to film with, especially on a show that in nature violates and ignores boundaries, are we supposed to feel sorry for you? Now, the other sibling, the darker sibling that Jackie had with her first husband, I would maybe feel sorry for her and understand her coming on the show and acting this way. But Chantel, I can't seem to get that, and it bothers me just a little bit. And then all of the things she says that her mom did to her as a child that she dislikes or resents her mom for, such as being controlling as it relates to her being in the industry. She's now trying to do that with her son. Can the boy crawl yet before he's on TV? And I know some people like to get their kids into acting and modeling. Nothing's wrong with that. I was a performance kid myself. However, can the boy walk yet? You got him all in here, and it was just too much. So Jack tries to take a picture of the baby, and Chantel gets upset because she's trying to get a baby of the picture of the baby in his full hat with the whole outfit. And it just seems like Chantel hates being a celebrity child, but enjoys all of the perks, if that makes sense. But yeah, I just don't care for her so far. Like, I don't dislike her, but I don't care for her. How did you feel about it, James?
I also don't like her. So I'm not going to be in shape, way, or favor of her because I feel like this was a bad move for her to come on this show because it's almost given to me. Like, I feel like when people come on this type of reality show, that means that your marriage is about to end. And you try to hold on to that entitlement and make a name for yourself before it does. But which is stupid because she already has a famous father who was in the league for many years and who is a current coach on a National Basketball Association. So for her to come on this show with her mama, have all these issues with her mama, it just doesn't make sense to me because you were labeled as the golden child. So what could be your problem? I'm just curious.
Exactly. She's spoiled.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I wanted. You said it, not me. I wasn't going to say it. But it's given she's spoiled, she's privileged. And as we said, I want to see that other daughter. I don't want to see her. I just don't. I don't want to see this one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I think we all kind of prefer that. I don't trust her for just trying to be in the limelight of the camera and then seeing she's trying to get her son in the limelight. It seems like she's trying to find some way to be relevant so that she doesn't need anybody, which is fine, but there's other ways to go about it. Stop complaining about your mama. We would rather prefer you like align with her because everybody that comes on the show, whether they know Jackie or not, loves to try and go against her and make her look crazy, and they don't share their own shit. Shani said when Jackie swing on her later in the season, I might just be on Jackie's side.
I'm already on Jackie's side.
Most of the parents I know say if they child talk to them a certain type of way, they knock their ass out too. So
I'm already on Jackie's side because I can. The way this little girl's mouth is, I'm already on Jackie's side.
Yeah,
I don't even know the details. I'm on Jackie's side because I already know that little girl came with some bullshit.
She's not interesting either.
Yeah,
that's my main thing with Chantel. Like by herself, her personality is. I'm not going to say it's dull, but for reality TV,
you know who she reminds me of? Her first season of Basketball Wives. She reminds me of Brandy. Go back and watch Brandy's first season of Basketball Wives. And this is exactly how she acted, the way Chantel's acting. Go back and watch. If y'all can remember.
Let me see. Clay said, I don't think I like her either. She has us looking at their family crazy. We already knew Jackie was crazy and that Doug is scared of her, but still. Right, she's exposing shit we already know. And therefore there's no wow factor and it doesn't provide entertainment.
Move us like it would have had we not known this information. I think that that's what she's missing and probably didn't think would translate well on camera, is that we already knew the dynamic of your family was not in anywhere sane. We already knew your mama had problems with her oldest child. And thanks to you, we know even more severe details of it. And then thanks to your sister, she's now put out a book about it. So for me, it's like, what else are you trying to expose? Like, the only thing that she could tell me that would shock me, and I hate I have to go this far, is if something happened that was SA. That's the only thing that she could tell me that would make me pay attention.
I don't think that is the case either.
I don't think it's the case, but yeah.
She says, I thought I saw her push Jackie. If my daughter pushed me, her head is going in between the washer and the dryer. Exactly.
Is that what happened? I'm going to have to go back and watch it.
Yes, the clip shows it. Chantel kind of came at her and pushed her, and then Jackie lost her. You know your mama crazy, and you saying she don't understand boundaries. Then you don't then go and push and cross her boundary. And then she'll probably cry about it and use that as a storyline. What I want to know, Chantel, where's your husband?
Or lack thereof.
Where is he? She's married. Where's the husband? Why does it look like he don't have no clothes in the closet in that place? That's what I want to know.
I don't think they're together. I just don't.
I
don't think her and her husband are together. That's why she's on the show.
It seemed like, no shade to her, she's done nothing since she became of age but date ball players. Like, specifically, I feel like she wants to be connected to the life because she saw the life that it afforded her. But I also feel like she might have done some of the things she did, had a baby, all this extra stuff with a man that's nowhere in sight for reasons potentially to get on the show. Because Chantel, something about her is just off. I'm not going to trust her. She said she was just being a grandma, wanted to take all the picture, and she was right with that lady. Secure your camera, because if it falls on my baby, I'm going to fuck you up. It's true.
Yes and no.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. That's how grandparents are.
At the same time, it's like, she was doing a little too much, though. She was.
Not enough for that girl to get that mad, though.
Well, no, like, anything Jackie don't do, that girl gonna get mad anyway. But I'm just saying, in that instance, I did understand a little bit. Jackie was kind of over the top, because whose baby is it?
Well, don't invite her then. If you know your mama's that way, and you know how she gonna behave, and you still choose to invite her, it don't make sense. It just doesn't.
What does Thomas say? The fact that Jackie never met her husband is insane.
That is insane. That is absolutely insane. That is absolutely insane. But that's something we'll talk about more once it gets to that point in the season where they talk about it more, because that to me was crazy. Like, I can understand not having a relationship with him too much, but to never meet him, what has she done that would make you question her around your man? That's what I want to
think. I'm trying to think. Okay, so that baby looked like he's almost 2. It takes 9 months to make a baby. So you mean tell me almost 3 years you've been married to this man? At least we gonna think you've been married since you were pregnant. And you can tell me your mama ain't never met this man. Y'all ain't never, like, come on, Jackie. I mean, I'm trying to tell. Something in the middle, and something in the buttermilk ain't clean.
Chantel is not telling us something, and until she does, nobody's gonna believe her. But moving on, y'all. Brandy meets with her bestie, and who's also a web designer, and is helping her design a website. She talked about her separation again, and I don't care how much y'all pay me. I am not going to talk about that episode after fucking episode this season. I do not care. This union is a joke and has been broken. I don't want to hear about her separation, especially learning it's not legal. They just living separately. The way, look, Cheryl Lee Ralph and her husband been married over 20 years. They ain't never even lived together. So I don't know what Brandy and Jason are doing, but I don't care. She claims she's finding her independence and want to expand her business by making seasonings. We kind of touched on it before. I'll give James the opportunity to speak, but I am not moved by this.
What am I going to speak about? First of all, let's be clear, Brandy. We know you're not going nowhere, baby. We know you're going to be with that man up until maybe your baby get 18. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. When your baby get 18, maybe that's when you'll leave Jason or have the heart to actually do it, because there's nothing that ties y'all together anymore. The baby is grown. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of you coming to us every year with this same old recycle. Do I leave Jason? Do I stay with Jason? I love him. I'm this, I'm that. I don't care anymore. Because you, for the last decade, have been on this same storyline. It is old. You either shit or get off the pot. Because we are tired of hearing you talk about this man, talk about the infidelity, talk about you trying to find yourself. And ma'am, like, I'm serious, you about to be 50. Like, like, I just come and then also, Brandy, you need to stop stressing, sis, because your mama look younger than you. I know we're not there yet, but I'm gonna need her to stop.
Yeah, she's. I just don't care, so I'm gonna move on. Good luck with your seasonings. Hey, you better be like Prima Donna. Nobody work harder than Prima Donna the way she was in the comments. But y'all could get my cookware. Do what you gotta do.
Prima Donna got a gadget coming out every damn 4 months. I'm like, damn. Prima Donna might as well open up Amazon the way you be
as well.
Yeah, because I'm trying to tell you, Prima Donna got so much shit out. I'm like, I almost want to buy it just because, like, I ain't never seen nobody just come out with hell. She give George Foreman, rest in peace, a run for his money. Like, seriously. Like,
I've actually purchased some of her cookware. It was not bad.
Really?
Yeah. So good for her.
I have some on hold. Okay, I'm gonna order it because I have something. I forgot what I ordered from her. I'm gonna have to look it up. I have something on hold from her that I was gonna buy when I got my place.
Now, Ming and Ty meet up. This also annoyed me a little bit. So we know they used to date. Ming says immediately out the gate, like, I don't know what you and Drew got going on. As in Drew Sidora. Ming says while they were in a relationship that Ty would not stop communicating with Drew Sidora. Apparently, Ty was talking to Drew Sidora for what accounted for 50 hours a month. I'm like, really? Is this what we're doing? She pulled the phone records, is how she knows. Ty claims that she was an emotional ear to Drew while Drew was going through a hard time. Never take nobody seriously who's going to prioritize their friends or other people over you going through it. If you're in a relationship with somebody and it's supposed to be the love of your life, they prioritize over everything. Unless your granny dying or your mama in the hospital or something, put your spouse first. A lot of y'all might do a little better if you do that with dating. So I do get both sides, but then they were only together for 9 months. I don't know if it's me, but to me, 9 months does not seem like a long time at all. That's still a new relationship. And it doesn't mean that Ty was right, but it sounds like Ming was also cheating. So I'm like, what is the point of this conversation? Y'all broken up or not? But how do you feel about the dynamic with Ty and Ming?
It's toxic and they need to move on. Just point blank period. It is toxic and y'all just need to move on. There's nothing that either one of y'all can gravitate from. Ming, I don't think women are for you personally because in hindsight of this relationship, you are way too emotionally gravitated to all the wrongdoings, and that's dangerous. If you're going to be in a same-sex relationship, you should have a clear understanding of who you're with. And when they do something, that doesn't mean you fly off the handle. That means you need to investigate and ask more questions. And if the questions aren't exactly lining up to the answers that you need them to be, then you need to move on, wish them well, and go somewhere.
They say 9 months equals. Let me tell y'all this. I know that community comes up with things that for them aligns with what they go through. But maybe the relationship not working and going in the direction that it went should show you that it was too soon. They didn't know each other well. You can't get to know nobody in 9 months. You can get to know them a little well, but you'll see 9 years later that you learned and knew some of it or the base of it, but will still be learning. So regardless on who you with, these two, I don't care. They're both too new. I feel like Basketball Wives is trying to profit off of Ty being in the media so much back to back to back. I'm personally not that interested in Ty, but not the cat meowing. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, y'all. I don't know why my cat just started howling. Anywho, moving forward, y'all. Chantel calls her brother, who's the youngest. I believe he's named after Doug as well. And she is complaining about Jackie and boundaries and blah, 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 blah. Talk about something else, Chantel. Why do you have on a jacket and it looked like it was cold, but the baby's head was all exposed and everything outside? You sitting up here worried about your mama's boundaries and you didn't even know to put a hat on that baby. That's the part I don't understand. Separately from that, I'm sick of it. I just want the girl to talk about her marriage. You call Jackie's son and now it's like, okay, we get to see Jackie's kids, which is actually nice. I don't mind it, but I feel like Chantel is kind of trying to make an issue with her mom that I don't believe is truly there or is probably almost gone. That's how I feel personally. But it's like you doing all of this, Chantel, and you hanging out with your mama's friends. Now, I know some of my mama's friends, and they are nice women, but I don't want to hang out with them. I don't. I just don't. But that's how I feel. I think James stepped away, you guys, so we're going to move forward. Jackie meets with Jen and Christian to have food, which was the funniest thing ever. And basically, Christian and Jen were there to complain about Evelyn. Christian's aware of the issue with Carl's cousin Kiki, who alleges that she was scammed by Christian. And he does explain everything in a way that did kind of make sense, but I also still call some type of BS. Now, Christian says that he charged Kiki, who's Carl's cousin, a $1,500 fee to do some trading for her, it sounds like. And that was just his fee to do the trading for her electronically, or however the hell it works with that cyber world. She was still responsible for funding her account. So in order to trade money, cryptocurrency, things like that, you have to have funding in your account, which is the same way it would work with physical accounts, regular accounts, things like that. So that part I understood. He is saying he charged her $1,500 just for the fee, but she never funded her account. He then follows up and provides receipts showing Jackie that he did try to follow up with Kiki. He did hit her up. And then he and Jen say that around the time that the Basketball Wives trailer for this season dropped, that this is where Kiki changed her energy and said that she doesn't want to be affiliated with somebody like that, demanded a refund. And he was halfway clear to me, but not fully clear, because I'm like, I'm confused. They're trying to make it seem like Kiki waited too long to ask for a refund. But then Kiki is making it seem as if he was supposed to trade with the funds that she paid him for. And she made it seem like it was some sort of like master class or self-help thing. Now it sounds like it was just a fee. I don't know how cryptocurrency works, y'all. I work in actual currency that I could touch or see. But is that a normal fee for trading? Like, I don't understand that.
So this is where I'm gonna take over, because from what I understand of it, and asking from a few people that I know that are in day trading in stocks, into crypto, everything, he's actually a lot cheaper than most are. And I went back and listened to her again. She said it was for a year. So in that instance of it, he actually isn't not wrong. If we look at the basis that he's charging her $1,500 for a year, and then he's telling her that for him, he's going to assist her in the trading, so he needs her to put up money for him to do so. And where it gets fuzzy, which is why I'm kind of looking at her now, is that she made it personal with the text messages. And I think she got angry because she thought the $1,500 was supposed to be the full thing. So I think there's miscommunication that maybe he didn't share, or maybe she didn't understand. But from what he explained, it actually made sense. If that was for a year. Now, if that was for a month, then yeah, she's tripping. There's no way. But for a year, that's about right.
All I know is he provided receipts. And for me, that is enough. I feel like Evelyn might know that this chick Kiki is like one of them cousins that be lying and is full of it. One of them cousins that's always conveniently slipping and falling in the local grocery store. She could give that energy, because if Evelyn knew that this was the case and was going to go and tell everybody, why not bring Jen to Kiki?
Well, I think what it is that I think Kiki, I think Evelyn, here's the thing. Evelyn's either behind this with her and set this up and doesn't have a good, clear understanding of it as well, or Kiki didn't explain it right. And because even when I listen to what she's saying is he charged me $1,500 as a fee for him to then go and do this. So I'm like, okay, so if that's his fee, then what is the discrepancy? That's why I have a problem with this. And that's why what he said made more sense to me. Because yeah, if that's what he's charging for him to do his services, and he needs you to deposit money for you now to trade with, I don't see the discrepancy in it. I feel like that's a legitimate thing, especially if it's a year thing. Because
when he explained it, he did make sense, even to me, someone who doesn't know anything about the cryptocurrency other than to avoid it. But separately from that, he provided receipts. I think you're right that there is some type of a miscommunication. And if Kiki doesn't understand how the crypto works in the first place and didn't understand she had to fund the account, that she probably will misunderstand and misconstrue other things. But for whatever reason, they meet with Jackie to give her the info. I think if Christian calmly explains himself and provides receipts the way that he did with Jackie, he would get left alone. But instead, the way they're moving is shady, which tells me he may not be doing shady stuff to this day, but I do think he has a long history of doing some shady stuff.
Now that he's on TV, he has to be clean about it. So yeah, I'm not letting this go too far. I'm like, no, we still got some questions that need answers. Like palms need to be greased. Like I need to know some more details about you, sir. Because with Jennifer's track record, you know, we got the dude who saw her Range Rover and then Tim Norman in his hips. I just feel like you don't seem that far from them too. And that's what makes me feel like Jen is a crook herself.
She probably is.
I just feel like she is. Because to me, you keep picking men like this. It's like Angela Statton calling out Phaedra. Like it's like I could believe
you are what you attract.
Yes.
That's a thing. So
and I feel like if Apollo really did take the rap for Phaedra, y'all men are stupid. Because when I tell you Phaedra would have been in the jail cell, not probably with me because I'm a man, but she would be over there at the women's clerk office.
He didn't want to take care of them kids. They knew what they was doing. I think it was all arranged. James about to have a lot to say. So we get to Jason and Brandy talking via FaceTime. Okay, I'm just gonna I'm gonna read you my notes as I wrote them, y'all. Jason and Brandy talk, and he was weird. He is not cute at all. He is extra sweet and is missing some space between his teeth. He also does not appear to be sober. I don't understand from this scene why the girl stays with him if she's clearly not happy with him. I don't care for this storyline. And now I'm going to give the floor to James. I'm going to just read the note.
I think, as I said, I did not realize he had trouble with speech. I really didn't. And I wasn't really paying attention. But to hear this man actually talk, and yeah, I do think he was under the influence of something. I don't know if it was alcohol, which was crazy because that was an issue on Yana Fix My Life. So I don't know what was going on. I didn't understand what he was saying half the time. I wasn't trying to read the subtitles. I'm sorry, VH1. That's a damn shame that he needed subtitles like that. But I just feel like, Brandy, as beautiful as you are, you really don't think you deserve better than that? Like, I thought he was trying to be funny, but maybe he is. No, that ain't trying to be funny. That was just.
That man was intoxicated. Look at his pupils. And he needs to see a dentist. I'm not going to lie, y'all. He looked like some of the young men that fished with my uncle down on the bayou for catfish.
I'm trying to tell you, he do look like that. He looked like he is the lead supervisor at the sugar mill down in Louisiana. Like I'm just saying, he just looked like that to me, and I'm just like, ugh. Ain't nothing wrong with that because they make money. But I'm just saying, like, there's no way you could cheat on me 150 times looking like that. I'm sorry. There is no way in hell.
Mm-mm.
Like,
Mm-mm.
there's no way. I just could not. I could not look at that every day. I just could not do that. I just cannot. And he must be good at what he do. And then I would say no, he ain't, because Brandy is forever an angry ass woman. So I don't know what she gets out of this equation with him. To say she's married, like, that's the only thing I can think of that makes logical sense to me as to why she's still with him. It's because she wants to be married. And if that's the case, then baby, you better off just getting you somebody foreign and bringing them here, because at least he'll be fine. I mean, damn, Brandy, you just poor baby.
I don't know what's wrong with her, y'all.
But I feel like his transfer of energy is why she's so angry. Because y'all, Brandy is an angry ass woman. She just is.
I don't think it's good to label her fully as angry, but if she is angry in this moment, she has a reason to be, but she also has the ability to remove herself from a situation that brings anger on her. And until she does that, I just don't care no more. I can't.
And let me be clear, because I didn't say, and I'm not giving her the angry black woman title. I'm not giving her that. I am saying her ways and her demeanor and her stance on a situation that she could be well and done with. It puts her in an angry space in her mindset, because it shows in her demeanor, and it seeps out of her pores. It's like you can see it. So it's like, I want her to. I feel like if she was rid of him, there actually may be space for her to find peace. That's all I'm saying.
She clearly has peace. If she lives in one state, he lives in another state, and now she's talking about she's happier. She keeps saying the answer to her own question, and I don't want to hear that shit in 8 episodes from now. If she's still talking about this, I'm gonna rip my twist out my head. I might.
Don't do that. You just got him done, so don't do that.
She's driving me crazy already. But Chantel, Evelyn, and Ming meet up. I don't like Chantel again thus far. I will remind everybody. And she has her mama's neck. But Ming basically mentioned how Jackie mentioned to her that she was disappointed that she was unable to plan her daughter's wedding. I didn't like that, Ming. You know that this is a mother-daughter duo. Jackie is probably one of the main reasons this show is still going. We don't care about Evelyn. Jennifer's never going to make good decisions. Britt and everybody else is too new. Is Jackie as quiet as is keeping this going? So I don't like when someone who's kept the show going, who we all understand the dynamic with their kids. Listen, Jackie is not perfect. She, in my opinion, is terrible as a parent in several ways. However, the one thing that you should never do is interfere or interrupt or add anything that could impact someone else's relationship with their family. Like, I'm pretty firm in that. I don't like that Ming repeated it. But it was just annoying because Chantel is like, this and that, and she tell you my business. And it's like, why are you leaning into the negative narrative of your mom? Enforce your boundaries, but you can enforce your boundaries on your loved ones with respect. And I feel like she's not doing that. But Ming then also exposes the phone call made to Christian and Jen at the hike. And I don't like Ming. I don't know if anybody peeped this. She's messy. So she kept saying to the confessional and stuff like, it ain't, and my name is Bennett and I ain't in it, and this ain't none of my business, and I want to stay out of it. You say you want to stay out of it, but then you telling Chantel, her mama, who's telling you her business, and then you exposing to Evelyn the things that were said on that phone call with Jackie, and you just got here. So I'm looking at Ming with the side eye. Now, Evelyn then says that there's no marriage license, no official wedding license between Jen and Christian, and that they had a big ass party in Paris. Which, if Jen didn't marry him, Evelyn, that's not really shade, because I wouldn't have married his ass either. But it would explain where that 200-something thousand of restitution went. But how'd you feel about all of that, James?
The same way that you did. It was kind of like me, like, I get production is asking you to do this, but don't be so damn obvious with it. Like, Do it and then just kind of like in a subtle way, just be like, something else. Because at the end of the day, that's that girl's mama. So if this shit were to backfire on you, she gonna be on her mama's side. Well, at least I hope so. I don't know, knowing her, because I don't like her either. And when you said she has Jackie's neck, she also has Jackie's wig on too. I need her to return. And then this whole thing about Jennifer and Christian may not be legally married. Yeah, they are giving Yandy and Mendices. Absolutely. I believe that 100%. I don't think they're legally married. She would be smart. That would be the only time I would call Jennifer smart, is if she is not legally married to that man. Because if she's legally married to him, Jennifer is going to have to split that $25 million she allegedly is worth. So, and I wouldn't want to split my $25 million with him. So I of course, don't be
I wouldn't
legally
want to
married.
split it with nobody.
I wouldn't want to split my $25 million. No, fuck you. No, you're not getting nothing out of me.
Get through the. She said Brandy should be a friend of. I actually agree.
I think Brandy should leave the show.
I also agree with that. I actually agree more with her leaving the show than being a friend of. Because she doesn't have good relationships. Everyone's talked about her marriage. Her true friends left the show, who she had a good relationship with on camera and off camera. And also for healing purposes, being linked to Basketball Wives links her as a basketball wife, which links her to her trauma and her nasty ass husband. It's just a fact. And she had her mama's neck. She do. Look at Chantel's neck and look at Jackie's neck. That's a neck of family. That's lineage. She said, I don't mind Ming, but I wish she never touched her face. She looks so different. Ming's face looks terrible now. I thought it was just me, and I'm glad somebody else can see that because back in the day, she looked so much better.
She definitely fucked up her face. And it's like, why would you do this? Like, what purpose do you have in messing up your face?
People just wanting to follow trends and stuff. We gonna be some weird looking great aunties and great uncles and grandpappies. You gonna have fake abs, fake booties. They gonna have to change.
Especially when that shit get to leaking and stuff and get to settling wrong. Yes, it's going, y'all.
She does. That's the best example. Sierra, they face both go up in the same way. I don't understand it. Not a Cola Bear. I cannot. All right. Not much else happened this episode, you guys. They get to the event that Chantel is throwing for the ladies to have fun. It was a little obstacle course, which is, I love stuff like that. I thought that was a good idea. And it was fun to see some of these old plastic women run through some obstacles and things like that. But why did Evelyn have to tell Ty that Brandy said she was cute? Brandy, if you are going to dip in the lady pond, dip in the lady pond with a lady that doesn't behave like a man. Because the way Ty moves when she dates like a nigga. I said what I said. Y'all can cancel me. She does. So if that is true, watch yourself. But it was weird. Did you feel any way?
I actually think that that's what she needed to do.
Not with Ty, though.
I don't know if I want necessarily with Ty, but I want it to be with somebody because I think she needs that. She needs some type of transfer of energy so she don't be so damn mean all the damn time. So I want her to get with somebody. I don't know if it's necessarily Ty. I don't know if I 100% ship that, but I definitely think that it might be something she needs to consider.
She needs to do something, but leave Ty alone. Ty done been everywhere. And she seemed to like older women, divorced, baby mamas. Ty has a type, all of them in some way. Mm-hmm. Now, the obstacle course was a little bit funny. The funniest part was Brittany having to do this in the hijab and her abaya, which is the Muslim dress wear that she was wearing. But I'm like, you really committing to this? You really committing to wearing all of this? Okay, Miss Brittany. But the group did enjoy the activity. But as we all know, whenever this group goes to have lunch or dinner, that's where things go to hell, like hit the fan. But Jackie thanks her friends for attending her daughter's event. And I'm like, Jackie, don't make it about you. But Jackie produces, because without Jackie, we wouldn't really have a show. And she brings up the drama that everybody has and takes it a step further and mentions the conversation she had with Kristen and Jen, puts Jen on the spot and asks Jen to repeat what she said about Evelyn's daughter having a baby by a felony. by a felon. And Jen does repeat it to Ev, which was bold. And of course, Ev went the hell off. She said, if you keep her daughter's name in her mouth, you won't be able to walk the streets of LA. Bitch, ain't you from the Bronx? Because all of the streets of LA knows that the gang got a felony. We don't know your daughter, though. I'm just saying.
That it was. See, crazy. If Jennifer turned around and pressed charges against you for threatening her, I wouldn't even be mad at her at this point. Because at the end of the day, it's like, why don't you get up from the table then, if that really was that offensive to you? Because he got a felony. We all know this. He know it. I mean, come on. Ask Tiffany. She know it. So what are we talking about here? And another thing, I feel like Jackie... See, this is one of the moments where I'm just like, these two not going to see eye to eye because Jennifer is playing stupid and Evelyn is playing jealous. Bottom line, I think Evelyn is jealous. I don't think she's necessarily jealous of the man. I just think that she's jealous because Jennifer got married before she did.
I actually agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, because there's no reason, if you were truly happy for your friend, regardless of what the man is, it's not like this is Jennifer's first time being with a man like this. Once again, I'm going to repeat it again. Jennifer had a man who stole her Range Rover, and she had to get the motherfucker back. Jennifer was with Tim Norman in his hips, and we know why Tim Norman is in prison today. Jennifer picks men like this. That is nothing new. So what else could it be other than I feel like you are jealous? Because to me, Mrs. Best, no shade. If I know you picked a certain type of dude and you decide to marry that dude, I'm going to wish you well and I'm going to continue about my business. That's not going to have an effect on me. I'm not going to worry about your safety or unless I actually see it physically. Jennifer is not physically, it does not look like she's been in any physical harm. She has not told y'all any money's missing from her account. So it's like, what else could there be? And then she didn't say that her name was on some shit that she questioned. So what is the problem, Evelyn?
Yeah, it's I think Evelyn is bored. Let me catch these comments real quick. Ty, fine though. She's attractive.
She's attractive, yeah. I don't think she's fine, but yeah, she's attractive.
But I'm also lean more towards men, so I may not be the best person to damn ask hell. Brandy needs to get a damn divorce.
Oh, stop it.
She won't. Ty is fine and I'm straight, but not blind. I don't get the hype. Like, she's unattractive.
I don't think she's that cute. Like, I just don't. Like, there are some very, very cute, attractive lesbians. Like, don't get me wrong. There are plenty of them. I just don't think she's one of them. I just think that she's just the stereotype that a lot of people think is attractive. Light skin, tall, good teeth.
Yep.
Good bone structure. I just think that that's really what this world is on. And I'm sorry. I love you, Shayna. Love you, Quay the Canary Diamond. But I just don't see it the same way. And I love women, but I just don't see it the same way.
I don't know. I don't either. I think it's more her swag, though, that I could see people like.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, that I could see. But that don't move me too much.
Shayna said, I don't think Evelyn is jealous, but I think she's just a terrible person. Evelyn doesn't want to be a sugar mama. I do think there's a such thing as being jealous of the fact that Jen has a husband, but not jealous of the type of husband or the financial and like those little nuances that come with it.
Yes.
Evelyn, her whole career has been on a journey to become a wife and just can't seem to get there. And I'm not saying that with Shay, with Antoine, it didn't work out. With Ocho Cinco, it didn't work out. She drove that man so crazy. They ended up headbutting each other and some more crazy stuff. Then she went with Carl. That didn't work out. So it's like she's had all these engagements and they never made it to marriage. So I think she just wants to be able to get there. But I do also agree with you. I think she's a terrible person.
She is a terrible person. But I think you made a great point. I don't think she's jealous of the man. I think she's jealous of the center of dynamic. I don't think she ever thought Jennifer was going to get remarried after Eric. Because we have to understand, Tim Norman and his hips did not work. The man with the Range Rover didn't work. So it was all kiki and laughing with Jennifer making sure that it looked like you were supporting her when you were going to court with her and everything. But realistically, I think that she thought Jennifer was going to be in the slums just like she was. I really think that she thought that. So, yeah. And I think Jen was like that in the past with Evelyn as well, even though I don't know why, but I think that Jen was like that as well.
Let me see. She said, as a bi woman, I see tall basketball player and dimples. I hear you. I hear you. I like dark skin men. I mean, black. So that ain't it. Now her swag, yes, I'm telling you. See,
it's the swag. Y'all are getting blinded by the swag. I'm telling you, it's the swag.
In the past, when I've dated girls, it was specifically based mostly on like swag and just how they carry themselves. So that can go far.
It had to be, because I don't see me knowing you. That had to be, because there's no way. Like when you tell me that, I was like, I don't believe you. And then when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, that girl had to have some swag. Like she had to be so smooth. Like you just would not know what to do with yourself.
Very smooth, very smooth. One of them don't like my husband, an ex, but that's okay. I'll tell you that story one day later. Let me see. She says she made it down the aisle technically. Nope. If your shit get annulled, okay, or your record is sealed, or if it didn't last longer, in my opinion, than 6 months, the shit don't count.
Yeah, she got an annulment. It does not count. And I know this personally. They actually remove it off of your public record. It does not go on there. They actually remove the sworn in statement that you gave when you first get. They remove all of that from your record. So it was never there.
Don't be fooled, y'all, though. A good PI can still find it, but for the average person,
they would have to go through my storage. They would have to go through my storage because we watched them. We watched them shred it. So no, there's no seal to that. But the problem is,
based on the people I know working in county records, I don't be trusting anything sealed or expunged or any of that.
No, you actually can watch them. You actually can request to watch them shred the information. So the original binding you can actually request to watch them shred it, and they will show you.
That's too much.
Vanessa didn't watch, but I did. I was like, I need to see this. I'm sorry. I need to make sure. Like remove every. I want them to even shred the manila folder it was in. I wanted them to yes.
Get rid of the folder too, bitch.
Get rid of the folder, get rid of everything. I don't want no attachment to this lady in whatsoever form. Because she played me. She played. Oh, I had to give a story time for that.
I can't stand you.
On my channel. Me about some of those things. They're frauding me into some shit.
Lord help us. But what you will do for love if you think you're in it.
Yeah, exactly. If you think, especially when you don't know love at that time, like, yeah, you would think a lot. So yeah, I definitely agree.
Never know. Oh, you guys, but that's all that happened. I'm sure the next episode we're gonna see Evelyn bite Jen's off at the table, her head off, and then they probably gonna talk about each other throughout the next episode, and then they'll probably have some gathering where they'll meet up again and talk about each other some more. But we'll be back to go over it. But so far, this is much better than when Jaceel was on the show, when Brooke was on the show. Something about their energy, in my opinion, did not match it and was helping the show to die faster. So I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes, and is glad it's not a season about Jackie. But James's link to his channel's in the description of the video. We're going to head over into the Valley. But we appreciate everybody for being here. We hope y'all like the video. Subscribe as well to Shayna_MCD. I share her videos from time to time on my channel. Subscribe to her. She does good content. Let's support Black creators. But we'll see y'all next time. Adios.